Hello everybody, welcome back to some more World of Tanks. Now last week I had a go of playing some tanks myself. I played the A-44 and the Centurion one, which were kind of like forgotten tanks, tanks that people don't really play anymore, that just have kind of been forgotten in the game. But today we are watching Dakota playing in the T-44, the tier 8 Russian or Soviet medium tank, or one of many tier 8 Soviet medium tanks. But this isn't a premium tank, isn't some sort of reward tank. This is just a regular tech tree tank, and we are going to see what you can do. You're going to see that you don't need really good premium tanks, reward tanks, or whatever to do well in this game. Maybe you need some APCR rounds, as Dakota has pretty much full APCR loadout in this tank. I mean, I guess I don't really blame him. Every tier 8 practically just fires APCR or heat, just gold rounds from the start, so why not just go at it as well. A couple of high explosive rounds, because you never know against artillery, even against like a Borsk, the turret on the Borsk, you are going to be able to penetrate with this 50mm of penetration. Now, Dakota really aggressive right from the start, showcasing the decent DPM on the T-44 and really showing that he knows what to do. Even without these APCR rounds, he could be absolutely penning every single shot that he is firing right now. And he is just positioning his tank well, just to make sure that he's only being able, or that he only has a chance of getting shot by one of the enemy tanks at any time. So he just, when the Contradictus was forwards, he only exposed his tank to get shot by that tank. When the Object 252U moved forward, he kind of pulled back, so only the object has a shot at him. And especially, where there's a Peregrine right behind, they're going to probably shoot that. But right from the start, first of all, really good positioning. Second of all, 2 kills already. And third of all, 3,000 damage already within the first, just over 2 minutes of the game. That is quite crazy. And talk about crazy, we're only a couple minutes into this game, and Dakota has already lost 7 allies on his team. And luckily, with his 2 kills and another 2 kills on Dakota's team, they are, they have killed 4 tanks, but, they're still down. And down 3,000 damage, or at least from what we've seen. And there you go, showcasing more of what this tank can do. A really, or maybe not really good, but decent arm over there, where that VK shoot him right in the cheek, right from the front as well. You are always going to be pretty much bouncing even tier 10s if they don't like overmatch your side of the turret over there. But now Dakota is in a maybe a little bit of a tricky situation. He's got the VK on full health coming in from the front. The Gonzalo is, has the high ground over here, and that is actually quite a scary tank to have the higher ground on. And there's an Ares 75 and a CS 52 lease up there somewhere as well. So let's see what Dakota does to get out of this situation and maybe pick up a couple more kills and damage. So there you go, first shot into the VK. That VK thinks, oh, I've got full health. It's only a T-44. I'm just going to, drive out. I'm not even going to look at the T-44 because I don't care about them too much. I'm kind of pausing a really bad spot over here. But yes, as you can see, that VK on the enemy team is focusing on the VK on Dakota's team, and it looks like it does have some sort of upgrade, as it does have more hit points than the VK on Dakota's team. So This VK is just getting absolutely shown its place right now by Dakota. Is that going to be the 5th shot? No, okay, it'll miss. But 4 shots in. The VK misses. And Dakota puts in the shell as Dakota actually spots the Ares 75. And I'm pretty sure spotted the Gonzalo as well for a couple seconds from above. And actually gets quite a nice bit of actually 1,000 assistance over there, but from the Ares over there, and puts in the final shot into the VK. I'm pretty sure that was what, like 6 or 7 rounds into that VK, pretty much within a minute, and that VK is dead. Really, really incredible stuff, and practically all of the rounds that Dakota has fired would have gone through if he was just firing AP rounds. No, it is frustrating. You know, you don't want to see a full APCR round loadout, but that's just how it is sometimes in this game. An absolutely clutch shell on the Gonzalo over there, playing well with the wreck of the Contradictus not to go out in front of that Gonzalo, because he was already there waiting and probably aimed in, just waiting for the Cody to go out in front and probably go through with an AP shell, or maybe even try and penetrate a high explosive shell. So that VK on the Cody's team is actually going up to focus in on that Ares 75. The Ares puts in a couple shells, but the Cody takes them out as well. 5 kills, 5,832 damage within the first 4 minutes of the game. And all of this, not in some flashy premium tank, some reward tank, just in a regular tech tree T-44 that has been in the game for absolutely years. Now that Lorraine actually has some decent view range, or someone else spotted the Coty over there, but I think it was actually Lorraine. So nice ambush by that tank, by the Lorraine. You know, you don't normally see artillery probably playing with some sort of maybe coated optics, maybe even binoculars on that tank over there. Spotted Dakota at a nice range, got a shell in for 270 damage, and managed to run away without dying. So that is nice play by the Lorraine. What can Dakota do now? Not really sure what that was. Maybe no. She kind of wanted to show the artillery that, you know, he's maybe going back there after he was spotted going towards his base last. Maybe, I'm not really too sure. Oh, but you really have to watch out over here. Oh, that might be, maybe you don't have to, as oh no, the Coty does get spotted by the ISU 152. Does manage to put a shell in, but I think only get spotted by the ISU after the ISU slowly moves forwards a couple of meters. Otherwise, he was actually fairly good at like 310 meters plus. You know, this T-44 is kind of like a jack of all trades. But it isn't really like that. Yeah, that it isn't a master of none. It is just fairly decent at all of its kind of parameters. You know, its DPM is fairly decent. You know, it's not the worst. Its armor is definitely very nice. Its mobility is actually fairly decent as well. I'm not really sure what that ISU 152 did, firing high explosive rounds against that VK. I don't think that was the full-on 750 Alpha gun, not the BO10 like the ISU used to get, but its other kind of slightly weaker gun that it gets. I don't think that is it. I don't think so. Otherwise, I'm not really sure why he would be firing high explosive rounds against the VK. You know, your regular rounds with 260mm of penetration are going to be enough, and your gold is, you know, just going to be overkill at that point. Now, the Coty over here, I think, is trying to take out this Lorraine. You know, smart play right now. You have some time to mess around with over here. Take out that Lorraine so you're not getting hit by the artillery at long range and just getting, you know, splashed and stunned all the time. But I think, you know, it was a smart play, but it meant that the Borsig on the enemy team took out, I think, the Borsig on the Coty's team was a Borsig. No, it was the ISC 152, I'm pretty sure. And now that means that the Coty just comes back in time to put in only one shell into the UNES before the UNES takes out the VK on the Coty's team. So I think if the Coty would have stuck around at the middle, you know, helped out with the Borsig when the Borsig was spotted, then went after the UNES before managed to take out the VK, I think that would have been the better play. But you know, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Let's see what the Coty can do. Takes out the UNES, fire, loads those high explosive rounds. As I said, against that turret does. Well, I thought that was going to be a bit more, but he did ram the Borsig as well. But 328 damage with the high explosive rounds. With the ram and another smaller 2 rams, manages to shut down the Borsig moments later. But now has to rush back towards his base as he only has 25 seconds left. Maybe it's the T-42 in the cap circle. Probably so, as the AP AMX-30 hasn't been spotted yet. So maybe still in base, or maybe up north. Maybe he's the one capping right now, trying to get all of my words out. But yes, wonderful situation. Could have maybe played out better, left the artillery for later on. Especially, I guess, no one was capping yet. But, no. I saw what the Coty wanted to do over there. Take out the artillery, take out the RNG, then come back to help his teammates. But it was a bit too late to help his teammates when he did get back. But now, with 20 seconds left to go, I did say the T-44 is a fairly decent and quick tank. But, you know, it's not really, you know, a light tank. It is still a medium tank. It only goes, I'm pretty sure, 55 an hour forwards. And I'm not really sure what the Coty does over here. And oh, really, really bad play over there. The Coty thinks it's over, goes after the T-32, and at that exact moment, the AP comes out, wanted to get a shell in right towards, right at the end as well. So maybe if the Coty would have held on to that shell, would have gone straight towards him, he was probably going to end up over here. By the time the T-32 would have probably spotted him, and he would have probably been around here as the cap was fully capped. So maybe he would have had a chance to shoot that AMX 30. But again, as I said, hindsight is a beautiful thing. I think the Coty lost some time going after the artillery towards the end. Instead of helping his teammates, he would have been here, already taken out the Borsig and the UNES with probably another 20 seconds to spare against the cap circle, and probably would have made it back in time to the cap. But then again, you know, the AMX was still on full hit points, and there was still a very, very healthy T-32 in play as well. So not really sure if the Coty could have used his arm and his remaining hit points to take them out, but you never know. Let's look at the post-game stats. Let's see how well the Coty did in this game. So here we see the Coty's game with Ace Tanker, his first mark of excellence, and there's probably going to be more if the Coty keeps playing like that in the T-44. A Radley Walters medal, a high caliber, a Top Gun, and a tank sniper for doing 9,582 damage, 9 kills, and 1,611 base experience on a loss. That probably would have been closer to 2,000 if he won that. Losing credits as it was a full gold setup, but still, you know, probably would have made close to breaking even if he did win this game. And it was so close. Just brilliant game, but maybe going after that artillery at the point that the Coty did maybe cost him the game. But as I said, you never know. There were still loads of hit points on the enemy team that the Coty had to take out. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye bye.